Dumelang, rena re khathetse ke go phamolwa ne ke anything e ka phamolang. Re phamolwa ke phamokate, re phamolwa ke gender based violence, re phamolwa ke banna ba re sa ditseneng taba tsa go jola le bona, re phamolwa ke bomme ba sa re taking care, re phamolwa ke bo sisters ba sa re taking care, re phamolwa ke re hae bane ka phamolwa jaaka hurricane phamola koloi mo strateng ra phamola. And then I'm laughing. I'm like, I guess bias ke them sa go phamola. Ga go tsa wana nje mo lifeng. Nya tle. Tlhaloganya, that thing is not happening. I am not going to just get mina phamula. Ngiyothathwa nje. Ngiyothathwa. Hi enye nenye into la emgaqweni efuna ukungithatha kaze ziningi kanjani futhi nalezi zinto zakhona. Lavaya, kawufela lona. Kawufela. To the flames, you are literally going to the flames of hell. You are presently applying, like as with a job interview, to become my ancestors, and yet look at your present moral turpitude. We understand you feel sad and you want to live their legacy on and feeling that is that basic. They are gone, they're dead. They either were born again or not, and if they were not born again, by Lady Helen. So some of your ancestors that you worship, by Labacha, Bako Hades, but what have I Laba worship, and in and of yourselves with this kind of moral turpitude, you are literally interviewing for ancestry one day. Some of your interview is about to be so successful because la hlanya, liditweba, la lemanza, so mudimo le bolai. So in 2 months' time, utlabesole ancestor obuti. Utlabesole ancestor sister's girl. Mara, you will have been applying to be your ancestor at Tengo Pilaba how go fail. Mara, the way ono lawyer katenye ole kotsi girl. The way ono tleteka ho fofora batho ka teng girl. Obuti the way ono tleteka go robela ka teng o robetse girl le basadi ba fo ko officing ka yona go robela boy. O he batho o modlwenguli. Ho basic. Ha bana o tlotsa bo chicken kankane o modlwenguli. All right? Let's just put that out there. Mara dlozi teng. You qualify just by mere virtue of being a black person. Le compita. Nka le dintswa la nkutlwa. Le lwantshana nka le dikolobe la nkutlwa. Le tsaelana bekamoso bana le tsaelana like batho di career memereko le tsaelana di biboko le khosa batho re ba hlanye he batho le ntrengisa batho ka ditlhare la initiator le tsaya bo mamlambo cause ni twele ha botloko hampe le kukile ditikoloshi mara wena ano tshwantse batho ba lo ba go lo rapella one day kwamele wena uyothandazelwa uyothandazwa too rather ngoba ngisho zenza uGod you deist grandos you bantu abamnyama mina ngikhathele yini safa saphela isizwe semnyama ngempela dala saboda kodwa ngifuna ukuyoresurrectwa umuntu makanizama ngegospel nikhuluma inyongo nithi ungazongitshela mina about white man's religion I know yazi it's alright in my lifing like Papa we're thinking it's all good in the head khele batle solution I get it's okay nna ke tla tsamaga God bo me nice modimo wa ka wa ba goa ke tla monka nna modimo wa ka o leng busy ka magwa fela a khositseng Africa ka ofela elo ba colonized ko motsaya cuz at the end of the day o phapame a get from the grave in a way that your ancestors didn't. Top of that, ke na ong di protectileng from taba or Jack the Ripper ong patla kankane by fire by force. Banna ba tletseng ka korobela bang tumpang ka di something tsa ba batlang gong jesa keep me as a puppet on a string ba kagileng di karkantsi dumba le cause ba stinchi ga ba batlo rena ke iperekela ba batlang gong betcha kankane bang pe ko passenger seat ba ntse ban drive around Johannesburg ka ofela mo ba nkentse gore ke ipope mo relationshiping and just merely exist as a woman unprotected from all that. The very same Jesus always has buying skelem salena sa because apparently allegedly o tlhokametse magwa and not us. Because unprotected from like I said the jack roller tletseng naga mo South Africa tse mpatlang kankane by fire by force le o tseriane wa kwa America le na ungviketse from yena the same God ong phileng spiritual gift re ke tlo khona bona every last thing e phamolang mo strateng gore nna ke se ka tlo phamolwa ke phamokate ke phamolwe ke monna o ga ke ta go mpha Z3 a batle ima gore ke nna grandpa bo mo fileng yona nna ke tlo phamola ke monotlong phamolang ka tlapa ka mpama nna ko phamola ke monotlong phamolang ka gender based violence ka 6 feet under ka casket ka cadaver ka autopsy ka crematorium vibes nna monna o tlong phamolang ka selepe or monna o tlong phamolang ka several admissions into sepetlele sa public no gale because nna ga ke gone go lo afford medical aid modimo nna ong phamotse from le tsogo la D monster yona ntho eo e tlorisang e tshosana seo that little tigolosh of a man. Modimo phamotse matsogong a bona kaofela without even a single one failing. One kutwa. Ga gona ke le monna o te, not even o one, o nosi that has ever prospered to get to me. Anza le busy moto, grinding and grinding and grinding at the mill. Anza za malo tsa cheresa mo tshwaneleng. Marankane ya bona le ba fubatletseng ka forced ka teng. Just proves ukuthi Grandshap, a whole chunk of you women in South Africa le tsailwe, le phamotswe because bana ba gabanga, they don't give up. They don't give up. Ke ntshekelelang. Batla go nkela family kaofela wa nkutla. Abantu bagini bazokujikela ngoba le ndoda le yakufuna ngenkani. Uzojikela ngabangani. Uzojikela ebathong if at all it can turn against you. Etlo go jikela sister again. Bana ba ba go costa mosadi affiliation. Kere ga gona ke re thominyana A1 that got your back. Ga gona ke le mmoteng o go godisitse o go change le di diaper. Maleri a imelang antsa a change le ke ntatwa teng. Le ntatwa teng will literally jigela you because o busy o favor sweba ya narcissist. Evimbe yonke family yakho ngemithi we okaze sizoyenza bo ma what now. Re tlo irang rona re lwelwa di family tsa rona re lo jola le bana ba re sa ba batleng. Anara ha o kotsing on that day. Ole mo hara relationship lenyalong le feletseng kaofela kilili ba ya chata ngamhlanje, but like the man uvimbe ngithi umndeni wakho wonke, uanti, umalume, ugogo no grandfather, no mama, no baba, abo sisters, your siblings ba favor monna o tlo go tumpang ka selepe, monna o tlo go tshwarang pogo. I waiting in ordinate favor, like le ndoda lena iyathandwa ngabantu bakini noma a bihlisa ngempama. Just 2 weeks ago mothako o go tsweditse tšhelete go bank accountong o irile EFT without your knowledge. O botsa mme wa hao re bathong monna ona o nkutsweditse madi. Ga ke na treda o kaofela e feletse cause D1 o entse a little bit of a transfer to himself. O embezzle le di funds tsa Minaiza. Ga ke mo batle mme wa teng a ba re no mara o itse keng tshepiso ke ngwana Minaiza. Tshepiso ke mokhonyana wa ka bathong mmeto o nkutlile gore kitseng. Tshepisonyana o wa gago o mo ratang high and low hureng kare he can do nothing wrong. O nkutlile mme wena o nchangeleng maleri. Did you hear? I just said he stole money from me. Ebe mo teng a re no mara kaofela ba batho bana le diphoso. 3,000 rand kaofela ya ka itsa maile. Ka re kantshinyana ya out yena ha you disturb when. Nna ke shabane le yena ke ekotsi eng shebile it's pulsating. It's beating. Mo matlhong a gagwe. O nkutsetsa tšhelete ha ka ta mo a batlo ngdripa ko mosebetsing. Hore ke latlhagelo ke mosebetsi hore na tlo tlhokomela ka 3,000 rand ya ka. And then ke mkhonyana wa hao. Basadi nya ya tlhebo gelzinas. Le mongking mara haleng rati bokel. Haleng rati basically le mathata. You've got bones to pick with me and ga ke tlhaloganye your grandchild diswa hwe. Di bones tsa lona. Ga ke tlhaloganye girl. Haleng patle mo ke khatileng teng empa nna ke le zama ke tshelo ka re modimo wa ka o wa magoa. O mphulositse from digebengu tse lenyetseng kankana. Sigebengu that you did not want to be with. Kimo Mutako, you walked down the aisle to him. Nyonjoli bizu bina ya eta James. Yes, come along. You make it look good when you know it ain't. Aren't you justifying the filthy deeds of some random tricksters in these streets that made themselves your husband's kankan and then you make it look like it's good? Robotanyoko. Ro deliver rona ba bang ba kgethileng Jesu Kriste. Ke a le ka ithutang history, do you understand? Teach yourselves the origins of the gospel. Teach yourselves the nature of God, his attributes, as they are described in the scriptures, that you might comprehend that the only mission that God is doing here on these in these streets is gathering for himself a people for his own possession. That's all that God is doing. And so even if it's through vessels that are cracked, what is the word for it? Treasure in jars of clay, human beings that are full of folly. Nonetheless, he has done no other thing but gather for himself a people for his own possession by making disciples of all nations. So whether or not the gospel came to you through Rome, whether the gospel came to you through France, whether the gospel came to you through what you call this Russia or Venezuela, Angazi, that South America, whatever, whether the gospel came to you through the United Kingdom, irrelevant, because God uses treasure in jars of clay. Cracked up pots that don't make no sense out here be making happy feet and trotting on along to other continents to do the thing that God will have the human race do. They are flawed. So just because they flogged you and ripped your skin apart with a cat of nine tails, ransacked you with slavery, does not mean that the messenger ought to be respected above, above the one who sends the message in the first place. God has gathered himself a people for his own possession through vessels that are disquieting in their indiscretion. So, to say because first and foremost, he's a Jew, all the way from the Middle East, olive skin, learn history. And secondly, y'all need to comprehend if at all the Lord proliferates the gospel to you through your harsh slave master, you still gotta account to him. In your own unique individual capacity, why you rejected the gospel even though God showed himself to you as the one giving you the word. And not so much Karabo, or Peter, or Paul, or some Italian rando. Like, herein lies the deal. You don't get to reject your God who has shown himself all over creation based on your indiscretions, your nuances, your biases, or whatever. Especially when your God has shown himself as God in a way that is comprehensively covering, and the gods that you have rather chosen to worship have displayed themselves as untrue gods. They have displayed themselves as willing at a whim to steal, willing at a whim to kill, and willing at a whim to destroy. Nobody does that but Satan and your little ancestors. Because bali thusa hore le singe le bolaya le utswe la nkutlo madlozi a lona a le thusa hore le etse mesebetsi ya satane. Father, liar from the beginning. A ke re le na le two face batho ba bantsho ga le tshepega a ke there is no one that does that well, better even than Satan. He masquerades as an angel of light. Le fihle mo pela rena fana ka ditshego tsa lona, big yawning smiles like the Joker. Mara ko morao o tsentse thipa engwe ya mhlaba mara mkokotlo wa mngane wa gago. That's what's good. Satane ke no etsang twelve, not God. So jaka ga madlozi a lona a le thusa hore lo steba batho in the back, lo betray le busy ka bona ho baneng le worship satane ha kana la dinaya hore ke satana ke la desire la dinaya hore ke diabolosi mo afitileng teng. You're in denial, guys. Mara diabolosi ke no utswang, ke ena o senyang, ke ena o bolayang. Janong jaka khaletsa all those things, and then on top of that let's maka, you are two-faced. Your houses are not upon the stone, the rock, but they are on the sand. Anar lo tsepa jwang hore ga le tlhokafala lo ba badlozi o bodile ga kana gele anare wena ga o tloba motlozi wa go steal, kill and destroy, seeing as you were doing that on earth. Ga lo ba badlozi ntho tse bodileng di ala hlwa mo ara dustbin e eternal ke pikitape ya modimo eo. It's called Hlongwane. Ke di heleng le ateng ha ona engwe ntho e ka etsalang mo lefatsheng mona na other than to throw you di heleng guys in this. Because you walked in ditshila ntho e ditshila ya lahlwa. Another when are you gonna hold on to an apple core o kata go inatha weja ile neng o spit it out its seeds for eng ntse e blomile fela e khabisitse your pantry ko kitchening ntse e oxidize are turning brown in front of everybody. Are you going to leave that apple core there, or are you going to put it in the dustbin? Ntho e jelweng e feditsweng and ntho e ditshila ya lahlwa o ka se nne ntse o le busy wena o holdile on to pakati ya mazimba e tlo blow manje fela gathering dust on your kitchen counter or go loungeng ya gago. O ka se tlo tlogela di popcorn tse weleng mo fatshe o sa di fiele o sa di kenye mo ra dustpan and throw them in the dustbin. Ntho e ditshila ya lahliwa, even though initially ene le ntle le skone letswetswe le le innocent mara modimo o tshelo ko lentswe la gagwe gore there's no one who does good, no, not one, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Top of that, your hearts are deceitful above all things, human beings, and desperately wicked. I'm saved by grace. That's what's good. Yeah. So seeing as you become filthy somewhere along the way, and you don't want the substitution of the only person that was both human and God, did not sin and died for you, a substitutionary sacrifice was done for you. Seeing as I name funala gande kona, because apparently uzela nomlungu wase Europe ambange na madlozi enu angena maitseo, there were gangsters, there were mabanditi, your little gangstrosities, your little child molesting daddies that ransacked sonke, that cheated on your mamas of which were little local witches, ambanyo ba weshipa abantu that indeed deserve ugyolahlwa emlilweni ngoba that's what you do with dirty things. Ntho tsa ditshila di a lahlwa le ditshila hobaneng le sa bona hore le ditshila just by mere virtue of about le feel like guilty hampe ha botlhoko. Your consciences are beating on you. It says ukuthi kunentsila that needs scrubbing that you are not attending to, girl. You're like a person that hasn't taken a shower in days. Bandla where you're not gonna walk into heaven and not have people there be like you're not gonna be let in. You're not gonna be let in. Nothing impure enters heaven, yo. So bo naive ba lona to continue ka di ancestors tse di tshila and then hope that one day in and of yourselves le tlo ba di ancestors tse di tshila and somehow mix Jesus who's going to accept you into heaven having never even tried go loti khotla ga wa tlhapa ga wa zama lo itlhakola ke re le ganyana ga wa iphumula sefatlego nothing ga wa like no stain azang wa suga ke re le washing A1 mara ba tlo kenang mahodimong you let yourself roam around in sin nje izono zenu piling up to the skies dibetsa lona tse 20 million ka letsatsi di busy tse di heap up the nostril of God like a nasty stench in a dustbin. There was a place called Gehenna in the Bible. That was a place that was full of burning where people threw litter, like a waste site that constantly was burning because that was the best way to dispose of the dirt. So Jano, seeing as liditsila lilahletswe ko molong, why lilla? Litlabelela, weeping and gnashing your teeth for all of eternity, regretting that you could tell in your consciences that this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well. Mara litlabeletswe pele, little guys, little girl, bo sisters, little brother. Litlabeletswe pele ka nyoko. Ya batho ba bantsho di tsotse re motho o no ska tontsana ka Jesu. Hle. Ha hona o mong. And no other name under heaven by which men must be saved. Ha hona o mong motho se kileng a phela without a single sin. O leng modimo as well, through kamo. Hi. Other than God, Marley Bizlo na le worship abo anti babaloi, ba tlhokafetseng grandship thanks to a satanic ritual gone wrong. Mara ke mzala ke ba mmitsang ke dlozi ya gago. Ke NC, sister girl ke NC. Lo ena o bodile grandship budlonzo korola di cherry ko officing. Mara you are vying to be an NC. In 2 weeks you're gonna pass away, your family are gonna worship you. Abantu bagini bazon worship. O Karabo ya ntela 99 hallo ka hle. Ebe le mutumpa ka ignore. Ka control alt delete. Nyempela. Kaneti. Hey, just like artificial intelligence, it appears to me like you are reaching singularity, black people. Ke khathetse ke TikTok. Nntse busy in recommenda batho ba Defeatist, ba tipolayang, ba tishutang mo futung. Ke grand ka lona mo lifeng. Ke grand. Batho ba bantsho wetse ke le busy ntse le enjoy mareu a satane, leading you to the flames of hell. Le sa batho go correct. Le kampane nna lang pata, lang kinya mahara le ka sentse ke phela. Ana re mo lifeng ho baneng ke le ko hospicing, ke le healthy ga kana. Ga ke na kankere mara ke na le cousin ntse le busy batla go mfa cancer. That's what's good. Mara ke phela and ke le cancer teng ya e batla go mphamola mara ga eng phamole go bane ke na le mvikeli ka mala ke go Jesu Kriste anhlaloganye. That's the thing. I have a protector that is making sure that I don't get the cancer that my cousin is trying to curse me with. I have a protector that is ascertaining that angicapitulate mina to eat Jack roll izongithatha nje as umfazi ngingamfuni. Ndoda ngithe angikufuni kodwa Inhlupheko angifoster yona ungitshela ukuthi Karabo uzongithatha cause awuzokhona ukuyothenga noma ukuthengisa. You're not going to be able to lokisa di sigilamuni on the side of the street. Ga o tlo khona gape le gore ka makipkip bathong ba abutine zona ga ke galetse makipkip ke iketseng ha ke batla ice cream ice nyana ha ke batla kota abuti is telling me hey o tla ja dust o tla ja le role Karabo because mo life ga na motho o tlo kgonang go reka kota unless nna ang shapa ka le roma inkane ngaga mina ngizoyenzani ngiyakhala khalilili ke khathetse nna di edit di heap up to the mountains because I get honor to get her to my work on time because of the level of spiritual abuse I'm enduring at the hands of abo fostoms abonkanoms amadoda anenkani ne forced bangifuna ngempenge inkani Mothate mo tlale ka re kanje o stinchi ha batla mosadi ra itshebeletse mara tshwantse nna ke lo montsaya nyai junior vumanyai ona yona go ikirala soso le Amanda Black ntse ke bina to a man that has not had it coming to deserve umfazi ozithobile to God. I am not going to humble myself to a man that does not love Jesus. I guess by Mononzali busy at the mixer, got the ancestors and the bodlet in the banditi, the bank robber, the clockface, and Motatalo worshipper. It is no wonder Lena Asna myself, just like those bank robber uncles as I can dollar, as he put it that he now worships as Amadrosi. Now we are George. Nah, he's a little bit of a bandit. Nah, you busy, we are empty, shy, stand at back in the FMP. We are George Alomund, go to a milligo, go Utayoba, Umyaniwam. Chancellor Manominaiza, get grand demo lifing, and about girl, get number lifing, little naha, listening it and Karabo Kamusa because Ling Foster or going the bank robber alone. Ling Foster bon, Badi Tumpila Bala Pamoseka Pamoka, the Mutating who feel HIV, because all busy got the sex ritual in the occult, what's the orgy, as I said, it's in the condom. How ka mo ebe lo tlo tumpa nna ka dimpama le ntlape bo girl, because let's buy scale themselves and not give the one person that escapes that bullet. That's the thing. Hey, that's the thing. Psalm 91. 1,000 may fall on your side, 10,000 on your right hand, but it does not come near you. I am protected because I have worshipped one God. Your polytheism is literally slicing and dicing you like carrots on a chopping board. Ian Mosha, Ian Bulala. Your polytheistic view. I call into ending I worship you. Bantu bamnyama, yo, bantu bamnyama. Bantu bamina is a night kimuhu. Kimuhu mo life ekasmo, ekasmo kikhatets. Utlalang bo gelne. Utlalang bo guysing is cause guys Obama mete even though I'm trying to reach abo chicken here. Listen. All right. Jaka ga le gapeleditswe ga botlhoko ga kana ke di tlhare tsa banna. How long do you think you are going to be safe in your cities, your countries? Jaka ga le gapeleditswe ga botlhoko ga kana ke banna ba twetseng batho another little infector South Africa ka ofela ka ngolaza sebaka se se kakang monna giyo tshwantse lo kwatela yena o go file ngolaza gelzinis because o busy ntsa robala mo strateng le di satanic rituals tsa gagetse dintsintsi mo strateng ba tla fitla a tla robala lona ko jarateng another hobaneng le kwatetse Karabo with a clean bill of health when ntho nna grandship eng protectileng ke taba hore I gave my life to Christ and then I became celibate and then I waited on God for husband o na tseba Jesu hore aska tlong tlhotlhora nna ka ditlhare first and foremost and hore nna ska tlong tlhotlhora nna ka mamlambo mo go dima rofu ya ntlo ya rona hore nna ska tlong tlhotlhora hape ka infidelity are just fraternizing with everything in these streets, a skirt chasing rando gore gape aska tlong tlhotlhora ka spiritual manipulation cause nna ke dila ke loya ke monna minaisa ke tlhokometswe ke Jesu to be protected from all such activity as that ebe litlo kwatela nna instead of acknowledge hore nna ke khethile right Letlonne in your defeatism linseling tematsalang kutla. Le cause hore nne ke lo gabiswa mo strateng. Even though I ought to be more functional than ornamental. Where it is that I find myself. Purely because ba le tlhotlhore lena. Ebelella dikeledio. Le hobola. Jaga dinja. Ga the same type of brother. Alo tsaya ngwana ha wa ngonyana. Le duplicitous akere. You have got double standards akere. Ha let's happy ga ke let's ka backstabbing. So because you're duplicitous, double standards, that's what you do. You would not want the same fate that befell you to befall your daughters. And yet, kodwa, peripherally, horizontally, your girls, I know, up for grabs. Bona, it's all systems go. The benches will make all systems go. Maraising banabanyana. And this thing is going to be proliferated. Relay race. Go Olympicing. It's going to be proliferated. So you ignore me, you ignore your Gen Alpha child, your girl child. You Gen Alpha, ne? Le bona ga ba batle bana ba bona ba banyana hore ba lo rabaswa ke banna ba tshwanang le bona mara Karabo's up for grabs. It's like other people's daughters are you can just take it. Other people's daughters it's okay. Mara ile bana ba bona baba overprotective, overzealous You see, a father can try and protect his daughter from a man like him. Mara ha ngwana ngwana a tsailo ke korobela a le dizzy ngwana batho a le mesmerized ke ditlhare tsa jabu ha na ntwenta to aka etsang. The only protection that your daughter got is somebody supernatural spiritual that can block le mithi ya lenja from working on her. Kodwa anifuna ukufundisa abantwana benu uJesu ngoba nina anifuna ukuzifundisa Jesu self. You don't want to go to the only protector. You don't want to go to the only what is this? The only concealer, the only one ongakwazi sorry ukufihla from amadoda bolile, the only one oka go patang. Do you know gore hona le banna bang passileng up lankutwa ba tswile ko nna bang chapa ka peace sign because they thought they were cute bana no baba fashionable due to tabarone ke sna miracle just by mere virtue of me having no money, being kind of poverty stricken. I ke sutlilwe ke tlhopego ke banna ba insistileng ngong tsela career little chicken, but at this point they utilized indaba yokuthi mina namsebenzi against me. Ngazibwa ignorwa ngamadoda that would have shelled me in droves, literally flying to me ngare a whole hive of bees when I was employed. Khane ke sebetsa ne bang patla high and low. Like a motho wa DMs bursting at the seams, pressed down, shaking together and running over. No end in sight to the number of men that were vying, standing, queuing in line to take my hand in marriage. God buried me in what you call my curse, my poverty in tlhophego yam. Go tlhophega gwaka go nthusitse gore ke hore bana ba senang maitseo, ba senang morals, ba senang what is this like shallow wait again, empty, vacuous, hollow, ashy, Men with no real substance wanted nothing to do with me the moment I lost a job. I dodged a bullet from a dude that I thought was my husband, simply because a case was raised up, trumped up against me at MTN. He caught wind of it in the rumor mill, and all of his flirting with me suddenly went ice cold. Yavele ya freezer, ya begwa inside dry ice, never to be resuscitated. I dodged the bullet. Usomandla can not only vikela your daughters from Korobela working at all if somebody has set their eyes on them, but he can also hide your daughters from men that naturally are just kind of fair weather. Abashelo, do you understand? Abatembeki. He is going to go out on you the moment you are no longer as attractive because your nose is this big because you're carrying a boy through during a pregnancy. You've got stretch marks for days on your stomach. Your cellulite is starting to appear in parts where it never was. And so cause Lenja Lena is shallow. All of a sudden, a woman that looks like you prior to the pregnancy is going to be out here satisfying the needs of your husband. Amatodanjalo, anyena ride or die. A single bone in their bodies of holding on to a woman from like till death do us part, always enjoying the breasts of the wife of his youth. Amadoda anjalo. Oh God, uyazi ukufihla from them. Do you understand? Jesus Christ can hide your daughters and you from a man that would, if at all, you were to literally have one hair fall out of place. If at all, for one day, you can't lay your edges right. Linda Lena is going to show you flames. A fair weather rando. God can hide you from him by simply putting you in poverty before you can go on a date with him. And that's what he did with me. Nga ignore and got passed up by guys that were queuing to be with me, because of the fact that I lost a job. Something so basic as that. Amadoda, are they not supposed to be the ones to provide? Aren't they supposed to feel proud to take care of umfazi? And yet, lamadoda were 21st century shame. Ugyo hlokomela a woman. Onyena what they call clout. Shame. To him it's like, you're gonna tank my statistics, you're gonna plunge my stats. Yeah. You sound like Cher from Clueless, the way they're so effeminate. Ngabo girl. God can protect you from an effeminate man that does not see his responsibility to take care of a woman through thick and thin. They don't make them the same no more. Do you understand? My very poverty has protected me. I dodged the bullets that you fell under because you kept your career, you kept your degree, you kept on studying, you kept on gathering for yourself currency by the standards of this world. And then some dude looked at you on some, you make sense for me. And then guys, wait again. I'm trying to get to a point. I'm not left and right, like and then no, because and it's a bang batla because right. Mara after the act, I'm seriously envied, and the seriousness of it is because I'm literally dying in front of people. And I can't help but rock up here and make it evident, clear, highlight that hakuna any of you that are safe. None of you are safe. I was on TikTok and I'm not just ranting but bottom line is they're the ones that God has given authority, headship to run the show. And when they drop the ball, all of society falls apart. God to Abba they have a responsibility to play. You've got to do better. You need to be godly. Ma godly uyavikelwa, ma godly uyafihlwa from wicked men. When you are godly, you basically dodge bullets that other people don't dodge. There's not enough of us dodging bullets. So we are all in some strange grain as black people, and the only people, about 5 or 10, that have protected themselves through the protecting power of Jesus Christ. Halesare tlobara ka mona wa lona he bana bo cherry. Halesare tumpa ka disregard. Halesare tumpa ka tlhoriso ya gore ignore. Halesare neglecta. Saruri hure ha boye batho. Halesatwa go gona keng. Di cases tsa gona tsa GBV ha di sa ignore because rona re ha no lo robala le bana ba tshirianeng. Ha re dikeng la bathusa. You are helping wicked men to get to the last of us that are sober, the remnant, eselemfa, that did not capitulate to yonke le nonsense like you are helping men keep us poor. The Lord used it to protect me. What was intended for evil, the Lord used it for good. The saving of many lives. I am protected. Guys. Mara it looks as if the it looks as if though ngishiwe kodwa ku-impossible ukuthi ngishiwe mina ngoba God made it clear that he will never leave nor forsake us. He made it evident that no such thing will ever be a thing. So uma ufila ngathi uyekelwe or ushiwe or ulahliwe, it's not true. You gotta basically demolish arguments and every lofty pretension that exalts itself above the Most High, and hold into captivity every thought to the obedience of Jesus Christ. I'm being so distracted. Honestly, a whole bunch of noise on the outside and a whole bunch of people walking around. So I'm gonna try and talk through it, okay? Nonetheless, and just talk through it. TikTok, nah guys, TikTok recommends. Oh goodness, like please, like give me a break. I need peace. TikTok recommends black content strangely to blacks. And I was just showered by it, offended by it, repulsed by it because of stories that I could relate to. Like, you know that a person has been raised up by Mudimu when they are not happy that other people are able to relate with their sorrow. In the black community, abantu bazi Kenya ngendaba yokuthi akusiyimi njengiwani. Sonke sisutlekile, sonke sibhidlizekile, sonke siravazwe yi-circumstance. Yo, shame. And then you expect abanye abantu la emgaqweni on the outside of our race ukuthi basithembe futhi basithande singazithandi hard buddy. Like just the ability to relate. Kulama TikTok mina I was like aze singakhi la emgaqweni. Singaki. And the thing that broke my heart was the fact that some white woman made a comment and said, I can't believe how many people are saying, Mina, this is my story too. Abanye abantu are looking at us ingathi siyiserekisi lankutla. Ridi Popeye, man. Ridi Popeye. And on top of that, Ridi Popeye is etsetsweng parafini. Go soka fela gore metšhisi yo light wa rocha. Because we are going to hell in droves. Ridi Popeye batho ba bantsho ene akuna muntu o confused ngada thing. La emgaqweni bonke abantu bayazi ukuthi we are defeatist in the West way. Ke khathetse ke TikTok mara ke mo yang recommend and tse nna grandshap I don't want to watch. You know, I actively, there was a time when I would actively avoid black culture. Like I would like South African culture in particular. Like nyayibalega guys. Like as in flee from sexual immorality. Black community insanity is like sexual immorality to me. I just don't want to see it. It's so grieving. On YouTube, I actively avoid it. So YouTube has started recommending to me appropriately. It's like I'm living vicariously through other people because I cannot experience gladness as a black person in a black country with all this black defeatism. So I'm living vicariously through everyone else, not in my country, and everyone else, not in my skin tone. I'm living vicariously through white women. I'm living vicariously through Puerto Rican women, Argentinians, Italian. I am living Chinese. I am living vicariously through other women that don't experience the daunting feats that black girls have to just go through by mere virtue of being born in the skin tone. I am living vicariously through them. I long to just be loved and appreciated and respected and have me automatically protected by mere virtue of being a woman. I long to have the protections that white women have under their men. And all other races, frankly. Yithi nje kuphela esihlapiwa sibhidliswa ngemithi ngamadoda ethu enabena any kind of disquiet concerning how they are breaking us. Angazi why kungena conscience in the black community. Angazi guys. Angazi ngoba sonke uSomandla usinikeza the same faculties. He gave us an ability to have a conscience. So us not exercising it as black people, I can't understand why black people don't hearken to their consciences. It's not like you don't have them. It's like I need ndaba. It doesn't do anything to you. Indaba yokuthi sihlekisa kangaka. Abantu bayasihleka. Anina ndaba. Halena ndaba. Le ka ntlong ka ngwana lona, le motlogela sotla ga 10 years ka ofela jwang. Alo ravaza lo blomiso le banna ba tsirianeng. Ba tletseng ka korobela jwang. Ba ijuditseng gore ha bana ba tlo ba le nna Karabo o tlo boda jwang. How can women listen to a woman suffer like this? A white chick that has a kind of internet, what do you call this, like presence? As me, suffering through what I'm going through, nyantela manch. Especially if mega muhle. Shem. Menye ga blome in that situation for too long. Menyek. Kodwa thina siyayekelwa nje ukuthi sibole. Rebole. Magoted and everything. Relo jiwa rona ki di hyena. Relo jiwa rona ki di the scavengers. Like people that are literally plundering us for scraps. Ingathi haraba toka ofela ba felletseng. Ba nidang dignity, tlhompho, respect. Asithandwa. As black women, gunzima. That's why there's always this eventual end result of angry black women in us. Mangathandwa as a woman, even though God said, men, love your wives as Christ loved the church, uzogcina ukwatile nje uhlala ublowa steam on a rooftop. Kodwa amadoda ethu, even though abathandi masrasa, they get us to a point of ugrasa kabuhlungu nje na. Kaze, how in the world are you going to be going through the same things over and over and over again? Halebatli thuso. Le ratile di ancestors tsa lona go mara dili etsetse anything. Your ancestors have no regard for indaba yokuthi abafazi babantu abamnyama basutlegile, guys. Black women resutlegile, and our ancestors, your ancestors abenandaba. They are not even trying to eradicate the problem. If anything, they're worsening it. The whole epidemic of polygamy is on the rise. Oh God, when I can see, it's written in God's word that if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, repent, basically something along the lines of turn your lives back to God, I will heal your land. So the plight of women in the black community, guys, until such time that you wash your garments and you cry out to God from a pure heart, having truly given your lives over to Him, without mixing, oh God, now my ancestors and all different kinds of other nonsenses, you are not going to get heated. Boy, girl, you are not going to get heated. And my ancestors have displayed we keep on getting clobbered. Baby daddy culture is on the rise. Amadoda have no incentive to do differently. And you keep on praying to all these many gods, your polytheism. And when then things reach a height where it is that, like I said, celebre on our necks, you still don't want to turn to God. Instead, you insist to guti. I saw I to ban nekili one was celebre mumulaleng. Tshwantse dimpentsa ka ofela really 10. Scheme ka ofela sa di cherry tsa go skutso ko high school. Ka ofela rona really 10 rongela nyoko. Or ha rongela at all. Ka ofela really 10 rongela nyoko. Black girls literally would much rather, all 10 of them, as a crew of friends from high school, they would much rather go fail, take in their stride. Do you understand? Because letsatsi la tike ba company ka ofela ba li 10 ba sotlega, ba company ba ka ofela ba li 10 ho be botlhoko, ba company ka ofela ba li 10 ba utlwiswe ba keng ba ravaswe, and ba ka se go tlogela. They will not leave you alone if you are yet to fall apart under the same thing. We are dying as black women because black women refuse to stop the chain of insults, the spate of attack, the cycle of violence. It does not stop because we are ungodly. We are ungodly, and I've been saying it over and over again on TikTok. Now that I'm outside, from the floor up, it's okay. Mona is having a bad day, okay? We won't stop the spate of violence, Tina, as black girls, because we feel what you might call this. We feel the need to proliferate nyoko ena, spreading like a gangrene to the next man and the next man. Karabo are the only ones suffering. Marana, my thing is, chickies, you hurt each other in your own crew of friends, but largely, your daughters, to suffer the same fate as you. But inevitably, they will. And you women who are happy to proliferate this nonsense against your friends, you might think now that your daughters, you don't want them to suffer as you suffered. But once your daughters become beautiful young women, you will be such a narcissistic mother that you will be prepared to either block your daughter's marriage or block your daughter's prosperity in a marriage, or you will literally stand with the guy all in wrong that your daughter was right to leave until Eya Queen Botagazi has now passed away at the hands of the very same guy that you said go back. Onzo biza nyoko ya monna mokwenyane. Women become narcissistic mothers when they were narcissistic up-and-coming women. You might, when your daughter is still 17 or maybe 15 or maybe 12, be super protective and not want any stupid, ugly menace in these streets to molest your kid, accost her in the park, castigate her in school. You might indeed, as that young mother with a young daughter, be protective initially, but trust me, and I speak from experience, once your daughter becomes a beautiful young woman, once your daughter becomes basically the stuff of Miss South Africa, once this foundation you can see, it's like literally oozing or emanating off my face as I speak, so I'll try and keep the camera stable that it might not be evident that I'm wearing fake makeup. Okay, once your daughter becomes a beautiful young woman and enough for a mom to essentially envy or covet the glory of her daughter, once every guy in the mall is now staring at your daughter as you buy groceries, etc., that's when a woman that did not deal with the issues concerning abusive men or gender-based violence or whatever, if she didn't deal with them when she was on the come up. That's when it starts to rear its ugly head in literal sabotage. Literal sabotage. Like, I bet you have heard of stories of moms who were prostitutes when they were on the come up, literally setting their daughters up to do prostitution in the future. But when this kid was 4, 5, she would have done everything to protect that girl from evil men. Like, I don't know if you know that song, rockabye baby, rockabye, I'm gonna love you, rockabye baby. Yeah, women are like that. In the beginning stages, moya ona is going to be very, very loud. Okay, that song, yeah, rockabye baby, rockabye. I actually want to chill in one position, because with this for camera, I can't, like, what do you call this? I can't move around too much, because then this like filter just keeps falling apart. And I can tell like that the wind is probably like on my speaker. But anyway, whatever. Initially, when the kids are young, like, I had a very protective mom when I was in high school. Every time I would come back home crying, she'd be like, "King, king, king, did somebody touch you? Did somebody touch you? Did somebody touch you?" And I was like, whoa, okay, you're taking it too far. I'm crying because my friends were mean. I'm crying because something else happened, basically. Okay, yeah, she was very protective when I was a kid. From men that, like, from men, basically, like whatever that men could do to a woman, my mom was protective. But then I became a beautiful young woman on the come up, and that's when she started to basically recommend that I get back together with a whack ex. That's when she started to recommend, be envious of the prospect of me getting married and whatnot. When you don't deal with them, your 4 or 5-year-old, maybe even teenage daughter might enjoy a loving mom that is very protective, but somewhere along the way, that veil of wanting to protect your daughter feels, and it is replaced by a narcissism that then causes women to essentially set their daughters up for failure. If you don't deal with it, you are going to be a narcissistic mother. It happens like clockwork. So you initially will sing, rockabye baby, rockabye, I'm gonna love you. She tells me, ooh love, I'm gonna take care of you, love, na 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 na, my love, na 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 na, you. Initially the mother will be like that, but if she doesn't deal with her issues, if she does not turn to God, she is going to start out saying, I'm saying, ooh love, I'm gonna take care of you, my baby girl. Only for her 24, 25-year-old daughter to now be thrown under the bus by the same mom that would have jumped in front of a moving truck to protect her baby girl from a wicked man. Same protections extracted from the ecosystem by the same mom that would have killed a man that even so much as looked at her daughter some kind of way. Now the same mother is shoving that daughter in that man's face. Today I'm enduring that kind of sorrow as a woman whose mom never dealt with her issues. And so now, horrible, like wicked, disgusting men literally think I'm up for grabs and I'm takeable and have never been loved. Even though there was a time when I was extremely protected by my family, by my own mom, who would have like literally chopped off the head of some funny weirdo that looked at me strangely. Yeah, the same woman is now being trusted, do you understand, to basically stand back and do nothing for her daughter. When I was maybe 16, 17, let's say 16, we used to live in Alberton, and I used to take taxis home, right? Where I would get off Godi taxiing, I would have to walk some distance to get home, and I would pass by this one fast food joint where they used to sell slap chips and what have you. Okay, there used to be this one dude that worked there at that slap chip joint, and this guy would get out of his work premises and follow me home. And no, I don't want to talk to you. No, I don't want to talk to you. And it got to a point where it was really scary because he would follow me almost all the way home, and so therefore know where I stay. And I kept saying, leave me alone, very audibly, sometimes even screaming at him, pushing him on the street. He wouldn't leave me alone. And one Friday I go home and I finally tell my mom. Okay, because initially I didn't tell my mom. I thought I could deal with this myself. I finally tell my mom, guys, if I tell you, it was on Friday when I went to go tell my mom. On the Saturday, we were going to Eastgate to go shopping for groceries. The Saturday before we went to Eastgate, Reftiloko, that fast food restaurant where that guy works, and my mom threw a scene at that place where this guy worked, basically threatening that if you don't stop following my daughter around, you and your whole establishment is going to see flames. She went and spoke to his boss and was like, if you don't get your son to leave my daughter alone, if you don't get your son to leave my child alone, if you don't get your employee to leave my teenage daughter alone because she's just a child, for crying out loud. Y'all, you haven't seen the last of me. The flames. Don't look at me looking like a woman. I'm gonna show you flames. Leave my child alone. She caused a scene to a point where the people dining at that restaurant were literally staring, and it was just like, whoa, that dude, I'm pretty sure he got a talking to by his boss. I'm pretty sure he also was very embarrassed for the rest of the day, but he never followed me again. He never followed me again. He never gave me a grief again. That kind of protection, when I turned 24, 25, it just fled out the window because I just became too glorious, too beautiful, and I was now of marriable age. I was no longer a child. I didn't have any more baby fat cheeks. I didn't have pretty much what it is that causes women to not be too intimidated by girl children. Now I was scary to a woman that's a little bit older. Do you understand? And so for those reasons, she stopped protecting her child. She stopped protecting her kid. That is what happens when you don't deal, guys, with your narcissism. I'm sitting on 5% with battery power. When you don't deal with narcissism, that's what under heaven happens. You will literally leave your girl children out on a limb to get taken by just about anything. Bazothathwa nje izinja la emgaqweni ezinyana maitseo zesinang respect even in the slightest for basic protocol. Yeah, and you will be shocked as a mom, you turning against your daughter like this, but you won't be able to control it, and your daughter will also be shocked at how much you are not protecting her when historically you used to do it so easily. Let me go charge the phone and then come back and finish having this particular discussion. Yeah, basically what I'm getting at is that there is no safety in complacency. There is no safety in complacency. I hope to be able to use whatever daylight hours remain. There is no safety in complacency. Literally, absolutely none. Hollow, note, and ash. There is no safety in complacency. Women, do not say that you were not warned. Alright, just so you can understand, that has caused me to sort of kind of blow steam concerning what I saw on TikTok. It was just a whole bunch of TikToks, alright, of women not only lamenting against where's my nose? Itchy. It was a whole bunch of women lamenting against infidelity, and making jokes about it. Basically just the embracing or the acceptance of girlfriend culture amidst married men. That was like a whole thing. And there's like actually this one TikTok that's doing its rounds right now, where it is that it's the voice of some dude speaking to his girlfriend while his wife overhears, talking about how it is that it's you that I love, are only married for the children, blah blah, etc. And it's made like a whole big chunky joke. And I went into the comments section of one of these TikToks. There's a few of them doing their rounds, and the number of women in that comment section saying, mine said I was his sister, mine said I was his maid, mine said I was his cousin, mine said that we are roommates. Mine, basically a married man telling his side piece girlfriend, don't leave me now that you have discovered that I'm married, because I'm not even all that serious with with my wife. Yeah, like that. And the number of women that were in the comments section talking about how it is that my husband literally told his mistress or his side piece that I am a domestic worker in his life. That's what's going on over there. Were so many that one woman, you could tell with her profile picture that she was a white woman. Her comment was in that comment section, I can't believe how many women are able to share their side of the story concerning this thing, saying that mine was this, mine was that. Essentially, this white woman's comment was, how many of you out there are there like this, who have husbands literally pleading with side pieces after they get busted for extramarital affairs to stay with them, talking about how their wives are sisters, cousins, maids, etc., roommates. This woman was in shock. She was in disbelief as to how many of us black women have this to relate with. And my thing was, my point exactly, bullseye. Donkey. We are all like that. We get to a point where we have so embraced the indiscretion of men that we then comfort one another with the fact that we can relate. Until other people look in from the outside, observe this indiscretion, and are shocked out of their minds at it, and then say, how many of you are there exactly going through the same nonsense? I hate that I can relate with black women. on these issues. I hate that I can do nothing but relate with black women on these problems, because we should not have, we should not, there shouldn't be so many. Look, there are white women who go through nonsense at the hands of men. There are white women who go through nonsense at the hands of their men. Okay, it happens to everybody. Sorry. It happens to everybody. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the worst of us, right? Where it is that we're dealing with indiscretion at the hands of men. Fine, it happens. But the scale that it happens in the black community is frankly unacceptable. The scale is so voluminous that other people literally comment along the lines of, but how many of you exactly are there? White men cheat, Indian men cheat, everybody cheats. And they all come up with stupid, ugly excuses. But the scale of our men, walk in this indiscretion, because, hey guys, it's too much. It is too much. There are literally too many of them. Too many. And the whole phenomenon of mothers becoming betrayers of their daughters is on the ramp up. It's on the increase, where your once protective mother is now going to throw you at the hands of wicked men. And I'm lamenting right now because I don't have sufficient protections under my female family members, because the same people who were once upon a time happy to protect me from the same thing that is currently hitting me now are leaving me be, because I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown woman. They will protect their teenage girls, maybe their toddler, preteen. But the moment you become a beautiful young woman, it's like something competitive rises up in them. It's a generational demon in black women. It's a generational curse. We throw each other to the dogs. The same batch of girlfriends that would have been happy to report the indiscretion of your boyfriend now are going to protect him. Now they're going to protect, they're going to hide his indiscretion at your expense. They will watch you walk down the aisle to a man that has cheated with one of them and not tell you until you are in it. And now it becomes a whole scandal. It's like they all want us to suffer the same things. They all want us to be like Janet Jackson and Why Did I Get Married? Out here contracting HIV from a man that you are married to. They want everybody to share the same pain. And this complacency then translates to the circus. Just the incredible circus that is the black community. It is a circus, and I'm tired of being in it. And how escape this thing. So I am forced to keep talking sense into people's heads that I've been speaking sense into for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It appears as if though I am destined or doomed to pass away. Got the same things. Into different until Nina. Repent that you might be protected from them. And you see the thing about not feeding a beast. Pulsator, inhaler, exhaler, every 2 days. The thing about a pulsating beast is that it will thrive because you keep feeding it. But if you starve it, it might actually see something is wrong with the way I am. Because bana ba entitled, they have been getting fed inyama yamatotagazi babanya bantu bayasibulela njega lula. Go easy for them to do a death spell on a woman because she said no. Akafuna ukujula naye so lo muntu lo uzombulala some kind of strange thing. Babatla ho lonka nakile mzalwane kaofela ke feletse khaka nakile consecrated, having been celibate for 13 years. Babatla go nketsa mistress nahan. How no? You can't say no because mamas, you will at some point for your 16-year-old daughter that you think you're protecting right now. When you ignore my case, when this daughter of yours turns 23, you are going to recommend that she stays with an ugly man, a bad man. I had a boyfriend that used to steal money from me in the past. My mom was busy calling him Makoti, and I was like, well, you're not there, my mom was like, I like him. He's mkhwenyana wam. That's the thing. They infiltrate the minds of our parents. They infiltrate the minds of our sisters. Like family ya kaofela etla go jigela in favor of a guy o sa etseng sense. O kana o nyetse tweba wa nkutlwa. O nyetse nja kaofela e feletseng ntse hobola mo jarateng ya hao. O tlo enyala because mo ha o mo ratela eng ha o tsebe. Ha o tlhaloganye hore mo teng o ratelang monna o gutsetsang tšhelete wa utswa motho. He steals money from you and yet uma wakho uzomfavor. It's because basebenzisa imithi to mind control abantu bagin until when are you feeling that maybe you are the confused one here to want to walk away, and then you end up so crazy miserable emthathweni ungayenzi sense that when now you are divorcing wonke umuntu yahleka because angisho kumnandi mas divorce sonke kaofela ha re divorce go monate kaofela ha re tumpo re trapuwa re tlapuwa go monate. kaofela ha re experience the same gender-based violence kumnandi angisho abantu abamnyama nithanda manje bore amanye abantu. It's like you all want to wear di cement, you want to be wearing cast kaofela le batla apara limpa kaofela le batla di bandage kaofela tshwantse re lo admit wa rona go bara. Because that's the only time that you're going to be content with your fellow man being next to you, content. Le batla kaofela ro apara di bandage. Sonke we need to be in some kind of a, medical condition, otherwise akuzoba right. Tshwantse scheme kaofela sa banyana ba 10 ba ko high school kaofela re lo ba le ngolaza kaofela re be le positive test results tsa HIV re infectule ke banna ba rona. That's the only time that you will leave your girl to be. Go jwalo in the black community ke serekisi. White women can relate to the sorrow of the black girl. 1 or 2 or 10 of them, mara not literally the whole community. There might be 1 or 2 or 3 that can relate with our crazy stories, but not the whole community. Same thing is true for Indians and colors, etc. Tina kodwa indaba zethu ezinde ezibolile yezethu zonke kaofela rona we are suffering from the same thing kaofela, and that is something that black people are content with. Abo mama balahlela abantu indodakazi zabo under the bus. Abo baba, they stand back. Kuyathakathwa amadoda athwele athatha abafazi that don't belong to them, and the ones who keep saying no, like Abo Karabo, they are telling themselves ukuthi it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Lamadoda don't heal unless you decide to do a better thing as a woman. Unless nina as bafazi and Hlongwane nonke make a decision to stop feeding the beast. Akuzolunga, akuzona muntu ozophola. Khona anybody that's going to be permanently discharged from lesibhedlela lesinithando kangaka enisithandayo. Sibhedlela siratang to keep on getting admitted into. Khona motho o tlotswang ko sibhedleleng sa teng a sa khutlele morago. Le rata rena re ntse re admitwa because of bana, and then siyotshelwa thina mase cartel ukuthi kwamele sibekezele. Re bekezela nyoko ebathong khokotlela is a beautiful godly principle insofar as your husband is godly. Manje indoda mangathanda usomandla izokuthakatha ekubambe puppet on a string bese izothakatha ngithi noma wakho to not support you or protect you when you are suffering. Azokubiza baby kanti umuntu okhona ukuvimbe ngemithi ukuthi uresponde in kind, calling him baby. To baby kanjani ungithakathile, baby kanjani uthakatha ubaba wami, uthakatha ubhuti wami uthi angi ignore mangikhala, baby kanjani uthakatha usister wami ukuthi angi ignore mangikhala, baby kanjani. How you gonna call me baby when you have bewitched my whole family to ignore my cause? How you gonna call me your lover when you have literally betrayed the name of my family by making one of theirs a little zombie under your spells? Habana sense. And the only reason Baliso is because, like I said, you keep feeding the beast. The other one was of a woman, TikTok, ne? A woman who was telling us a story. So Mama Zala, atagata gingi mpayakha. Umoloile mpa hore a miscarry cause ona batla tšhelete ya ngwana wa mshimane msadi ona ha this makoti miscarried the baby. She miscarried the baby, right? She was visited by a Mama Zala for a week. Afterwards she miscarried the baby. When she was in hospital, this Mama Zala visits this woman and says that this here miscarriage was a warning, sisters, a warning for you to leave my son alone, because ever since you came into my son's life angisena mali akafuna ukunginikeza imali ngoba kwamela ahambe through you, etc., something of that nature. This woman then goes and tells her husband hore mewa ha threatenile and mewa ha o claima hore the reason ke miscarried is because she did witchcraft. She told her husband what her mother told her in hospital. The mom, he said my mom would never ever do anything like that. He said Umawam would never do it like that. He did not take the side of the wife. That's just the thing. The Bible says a man must leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, and the two become one flesh. That's what the Bible has to say. Do you understand what I'm saying? So monna jwanong ha sa khone go tswa mo mmeng wa teng and cleave to mosadi ha godly. And it's the thing e ke buang ka yona, basadi ha ba protectan mme wa teng why asa tlhokomela the needs of the daughter-in-law first and foremost. Why asa protected the needs of the daughter-in-law first and foremost, the mom? And why is the son not leaving to his wife that him and his wife might become one flesh? Why is that even a thing? Why is there so much ungodliness between men and women in families that akubona the need ukuvikela the dignity of a woman? Why tshwantse o lo tshepa mme wa hao o tsebang hore o greedy above umfazi wakhona? Awulali no ma. Top of that, you don't give ma abantwana. Uma ought to be grateful for grandchildren on the come up. Like if at all a mother agafuni ama grandchildren ditlogolo ha mme a sa batle ditlogolo ha o bona hore hona le ntho e leng very terribly, severely wrong with that picture. When a mother does not want grandchildren from her son, don't you see there's something terribly wrong with that? But that's stuff that's happening across the black community. Moms are bewitching sons to basically be their husbands instead of women's husbands. They are sabotaging marriages. There's just all this random strange stuff going on. Hello. There's all this random strange stuff happening all over the show, and it literally does not make any sense at all. Ho protectwa banna at the expense of women, and basadi are no longer valuing basic things like grandchildren. Like umama azobloga umchato wendo tagazi yake. What? Like Mama Zala out here bewitching the pregnancy of her daughter-in-law. Like, it's stuff like that is happening in the black community, and it's all over TikTok. Out here, Musadi Unale music in the background, violins playing. You can tell that it's a sad, sad story. When you listen to it, your heart aches. But my thing about that is, Abantu Bamnyama, you have made your lives iserekisi, and then when you go in the comments section, so many people can relate. Stuff like that happens to Tinanjik Per, Abantu Bamnyama. Just us. We're the only ones in these streets that can relate at such a grand scale to so many circus tricks. Only ones. And here it is that you want to make me a statistic. A daughter-in-law that keeps on miscarrying because mama's you want to make me a woman that's going to contract HIV from her husband. Side piece, basically another statistic in the black community. You have all of the indiscretions that slap you coming, guys. Hale protectane. Banna balona batsubile matakwane. Bafila entitled to basadi. Babata the side piece. Banyetse. And you are letting it happen. Women pride themselves in the black community in being the side piece, in hurting abafazi abachadile, like proper akuna respect or inhlonipho for a family, is structure, inhliziyo yomfazi. I protect our heartbreak and jefela is something that is just taken as another Tuesday. It is no wonder we're always called angry black women. So manje makunjalo mina ngizwenzani ngani kitoletsang le tawwe ha le batle modimo basadi ba batho ba bantsho banna ba lona ba twele ba tshwere di mamlambo. They've got snakes in their houses in order to make money, and like puppets on a string, control you with you having no say because that's what's going on. And you are content. You are okay. It is no wonder because let you look on to a God that protected me from all that rubbish. From protected me from a mother that does not want to take care of the needs of her own daughter. Protected me from men. Protected me from ikorobela. Protected me from women that want all of us to get admitted ibar. He protected me from all of it, and I keep on saying, go to Jesus so that your jealousy won't consume you. Go to Christ so that you won't allow yourself to end up a narcissistic mother that can't even take care of the needs of your own daughter because she's now 25 and gorgeous. Go to Christ that you can protect yourselves from ending up HIV positive in a marriage to some dude or twele who contracted the virus, never mind even from a mistress, but from a sex ritual done for money. Go to God to basically become Abigail, staying David from committing abominations because Lamato Talawa have no incentive right now to do differently. No incentive. Right now, because and I keep on getting nightmares because they are literally leaning on Tabar. My family is not sufficiently supportive. Basadi are standing back doing nothing. Batuswa, Banaban, who ukata, who rape, Mostrating, Bayasizwa. And for as long as Basizwa, Retonenza Pamura, Kentucky Buang ill. Marahaling rata ker len Michael rat. Greshap go fell away in this together. I don't like you anymore, black people. I am tired of you. But I have to keep on addressing you. Why? Because like TikTok, right? I keep on getting clumped with you in all of your indiscretion to a point where I can't even run away from all of your nastiness being recommended to me by TikTok, even though I'm not logged in. Because like I said, I am being beaten to a pulp by my own skin because I can't get out of it. Your indiscretions are horrendous. You are destroying yourselves, calamitizing yourself, dropping like dominoes. On the daily. Stop by the carnage. You are happy to be strewn like cadavers all over these streets, insofar as you're not the only one. Alright, do you? But all I can say is Christ is the only way out of your insanity. If you want him, take him. If you don't, by all means, do what you want to do. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. I'm signing out in Christ's name. Karabo. Bye.